Welcome to Starseed Academy. This is a masterclass on how to create a sustainable and steady coaching practice. This came about, as well as the school. The school came about because I was noticing what was missing is a full rounded approach to starting a practice. For me, I went through a lot of certifications to become certified, to build my business, to figure out the marketing, to even have a coach for the personal development. And I felt like I had to kind of piecemeal things together. And I always thought, what if there was just one place, one hub where I can get all of that? And if I had that all in one place, I feel I would be so much further. I would be where I am now, but so much sooner. So I wanted to create a school that had all of that, the high level coaching skills, the personal development support for the coach, as well as conscious marketing support to build a strategy that works for me and not just like a cookie cutter strategy for that I have to force onto myself. So that's what Starseed Academy is about. And I wanted to create this masterclass to teach you the 5 foundational pillars that I've learned that really is what I come back to. This is what I have used to create a 6-figure business, as well as I keep revisiting as I elevate and scale to the next level in my businesses. So I find that these are just core pillars that if you apply it, no matter where you are, if you're thinking of starting a business, if you're in the middle of the business and you just want to grow it to the next level, I would check into these 5 structures to see if they're aligned. Okay. For those who don't know, I'm Minerva Maharajh. I'm the founder and director of Starseed Academy. As I mentioned, I created Starseed Academy because I noticed that there was something missing in the market, but really because I want to see spiritual coaches thrive. I feel like if everyone had a spiritual coach, the world would be such a better place. I want to see coaches be empowered, step into their confidence, be earning an income and making a real impact on other people's lives. And that's what Starseed Academy is about. I have my own coaching practice called Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching that I've had since 2015. And I work with women that really my mission is to help people achieve the impossible. That thing that feels impossible, you've been told is impossible, but you know deep down inside it's possible for you. There's even that glimmering light. I'm here to show you how to achieve the impossible. Let's go into how to create a sustainable, steady coaching business, as I feel like this is something that I wish I had underneath my belt when I started my practice. So here is the first pillar to have in place. Decide. Decide what it is you want and how you want it. How you want it. What type of life and business do you want? Not what other people want or what other coaches have out there. What is it that you want that's in alignment to you? What's that income level? And I'm also, when I'm talking about income, I'm going to come back to this because it's not just about the numbers. It's somewhere to start. It's kind of like a framework of how to price your packages, how to price your services, and also to set boundaries for yourself and to know when something is out of alignment energetically. But you still want to check into these things and be clear in your mind and decide on it. And don't waver, don't settle. So what type of business and life do you want for yourself? Income level. How many hours a week do you want to work? I work just about 15, 16 hours a week for the most part, and I have a 6-figure business. It took time to get there. I did it the long way, the hard way, but there is still work, but it's an energetic, effortless work for me. So I'm clear about how many hours I wanted to work. And when I was going outside of that, that's where I was feeling drained. I was feeling tired and I wasn't of service to my clients. So that's why it's important to be clear what feels energetically good for you. What do you actually want to work? And where is that line where you feel like you're really pushing it and you can just gauge back, you can pull back. Lifestyle choices. What are some things that you want your life, your day-to-day to look like? What are some other things that are important to you? Family time, you time, personal development time, working out, doing other parts of your business. You want to be clear about what are all those things and have a clear feeling vision about what that looks like or feels like. Some people can't visualize it, but you can feel into it of what is the life that you want for yourself. And create your business around your life, not your life around your business. Hopefully that makes sense. Be sure to drop any questions if you have anything that's coming up, or jot them down. You can and drop them later. One thing I'm very clear about that has helped my business and creating a stable and sustainable business is being clear about the feeling and being intentional about the vibration that I'm weaving into my business. Is what a lot of new coaches do, and understandably so. And that was myself. I weaved in a lot of lack. If I get enough clients, if I hit the certain amount of income, if I get so many opportunities, if I get so many followers online, then I would have made it. Then I would feel so much better. Then I would feel like a real coach. I won't feel like a fraud. Then, right? So the thing that comes before then is what, was of the vibration of lack, that it wasn't enough and I'm not enough until. But what you want to do is be intentional about the feeling that you have, that you want to create your life around, because everything is energy and it's just matching that. So of course, what happens when, and not all of them, and this was all part of the learning experience, but what happens is when I wasn't as clear and aware of the vibration of how I was building my business, it was one of lack, and that attracted disempowered clients, that attracted clients who struggled to pay. And even with the payment plan, they needed more of a payment plan. And not that there's anything wrong with payment plans, but I just want to give you a transparent picture of what that created in my reality. And I left a 9 to 5 job to end up really what I ended up feel like I was working as like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. job is what it ended up being as I'm building my business. That's how it felt like. And to be honest, there were days I would just work right around the clock. And yes, it was fueled with passion. I love what I did, but obviously it was coming from the wrong feeling and the wrong foundation. So once you were clear about that, if you can just incorporate that right now, what is that vibration? How do you want to feel? How do you think you're going to feel when you have the perfect business? By the way, there's no such thing as a perfect business, but that image and that vision that you have, what are you striving for? Is it freedom? Is it joy? Is it choice? Whatever that is, you can connect to that now and allow that to be your vantage points and how you build your business and what decisions you make and everything around that. I'm going to come back to that. Also, you want to get in touch with your soul's mission and decide what part of that are you answering? What are you going to work on? So for me, my soul's mission is to show others how to achieve the impossible, how to show people how to achieve the impossible. When I'm very clear about that, and I, again, just like a vantage point that I come back to all the time is the vibration and the feeling that I want to exude from my business or how I want to feel. One thing I always come back to in creating any of my offers and making decisions is it aligned to my soul's mission on how to help people achieve the impossible? And that's what all my coaching programs, including Starseed Academy, came about, to help people achieve the impossible, how to create a successful, sustainable spiritual coaching business. So you want to be clear about these things, be clear in your mind, plant them as a foundation into your business. You can keep coming back to that as you go to the next level, as you grow, as you scale. Have a clear feeling, vision. And as I mentioned, create your business around your mission in life and not the other way around. Because what happens is you then do things to sabotage it, sabotage your business, and sabotage yourself. It leads to burnout, it leads to dissatisfaction, and it leads to misalignment in so many ways in your offers, in your pricing, and the clients that you take on. So that's number one, is decide what you want and how you want it. Another thing I want to add to it, what is it that you want and how you want it? How you want it is how to build your business from that vibration. What vibration do you want to build it? How do you want to build this business? Do you want to build it through struggle and force, or do you want to build it from a place of ease and flow? What are your core vibrations? What are your core values? And it may sound so simple, and it is, and it can be. Literally the other day, I did a post on Instagram, and I'm redoing my social media. Even though I've gotten a lot of business from social media, I'm rebuilding. So an example of, you never, quote unquote, there's no such thing as having it right. You're always evolving and going to the next level. And I posted something, and before, it would have felt like, oh, what do I post today? How do I do this? Or what are people going to think? And I just came from the vantage point of, how do I want to feel? What is the vibration? And to me right now, my words are big, bold energy. And that word and that vibration could change, but big, bold energy. Ease and effortless is another one of my favorites. So ease and effortless. So what I did is I screenshot a conversation, I shared it, and I got responses from people. It got hearts, and not that that was the intention of it, but choosing from a place of ease and effortless, I'm able to serve, and that energy is what's going out, and that's what's coming back. And there was even comments about like, that looks so easy for you. You made that look so easy. That was really quick for you. And I said it was because I chose it from a place of ease and effortlessness. Okay. So what is it that you want? And how do you want it? What type of business do you want? And how do you want to build this business? Do you want it to be of the old story of struggle? Or do you want it to be one of ease and flow, or joy and freedom? You don't have to wait for the end result in order to have that. You will only have that if you start with that now. You get to decide how it's going to be. Okay. Number 2, programs and pricing. You need to have programs. You're selling something, and you need to get comfortable with selling. Okay. Before you do that, you need to be clear on what programs you're offering and your pricing. One thing, if you take anything away from this portion, is be client focused. That's the number one, if not, I don't want to say the only thing, but the number one thing. And the most important thing I find is being client focused. When you are client focused, you are really thinking any of your creations, any of your programs, even when you have clients, always be having them in the forefront of your mind is, how will this serve my client? How will this serve my clients? What is it that they want? How is this serving them, this offer? What offers will light them up and ignite an empowered yes? It makes them say like, oh my gosh, yes, they're reading my mind. That's exactly what I need. Get into the client's mind and really think, how is this serving them? You can have a great idea and put it out and it doesn't fly. Or you can have a great idea and then check in and see, how does this serve my clients? And then go with that. Because I'll tell you, my best launches have always been from when I had my clients in mind. What is it that they need to achieve their impossible? What would help them? How can I help them? I came up with the program. One of my signature programs is Live Your Impossible group coaching. That's been one of my best selling programs. And when I check back to the other programs that haven't been as quote unquote successful, I do find all of them, there's so much learning and growing, and it elevates it like just builds upon and makes the next one better. But when I reflect on the ones that didn't go so well, I had me in mind. I had myself in the forefront, and not in a consciously selfish way or ego way, but I was more focused on like, what's my goal? How much money do I want to make? How many clients do I want to work with? And I had my me's in front versus having the client in the forefront. This is what they want. This is what it looks like. What's the transformation? How am I going to deliver that transformation? What feels like an equal exchange energetically? What feels aligned to price this? When do I want to offer this? And guess what happens? That energy, that flow, that alignment is what showed up. The client showed up, the income showed up. So it's not to say, obviously you have those needs, but when we just focus on just number of clients, number of income, the number in our bank account, all of that, if that is the driving force, you're only going to get some results, and that's going to dwindle. It's going to get old, even to yourself. You're going to be like, okay, well, what's my next goal now? Right? It's not about service. It's not about accomplishing and fulfilling your mission. So it's a merriment of both, but I want to switch that it becomes so much easier when you have the client in mind. And also when it comes to you having to sell your program. Sell/serve your program, serve up your program, serve it up on a platter and see who wants to order it, who wants to pay for it, right? It becomes so much easier because you're not thinking about, oh my God, am I saying the right thing? Did I price it properly? But you're not worried about all of that because you believe in your product. You believe in what you are serving. You believe in this transformation. You have embodied it. You feel it. You know it works. So it's so much easier to show up. Does that make sense? Give a thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, so as you see, I get a little fired up on this stuff because this is stuff, by the way, I've done 7 years of walking the path, working with coaches, paying lots of money for, and not that it's about paying the money for, and some things, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is this is what I know has worked for me. Another thing I do want to mention is not everything that works for me is going to work for you. I want you to clue into what is a yes for you, what is lighting you up, what is like a yes, like let me put my hands up or let me snap at that feels good for me, and what doesn't. So what works for you, take it. What doesn't, toss it. What kind of resonates with you, tweak it, make it your own. Okay, start making empowered choices for yourself. Yes, we need the guidance. Yes, we need support. I need that. I still highly believe in that. But I also believe that you need to believe in yourself more than you believe in other people, other coaches, other mentors, other people. Okay, start believing in yourself because that's how you're going to show up more empowered, more confident, and more of service to other people. Okay, back to programs and pricing. What offers are in alignment to your mission and expertise? So I do check into that as well. Is this in alignment to my brand? Is this program in alignment is this program in alignment to my mission to help other people live their impossible? And if it's not, it's a no for now, or I put it to the side, or maybe it's just an idea and it hasn't evolved yet. So you want to always check what any of your offers, anything that you're putting out is in alignment to your brand. It may not even look how you think it's supposed to look. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be private coaching or group coaching or a mastermind. Maybe it's a digital course. Maybe it's a product. I know some people do like essential oils, or they sell crystals, or like spiritual stuff. You want to check in any of those things. And we highly believe in diversifying your revenue streams. For me, I'm also working in the process of investing in property, and that they're going to be retreat centers, right? So that's part of my brand. And then I've had opportunities of people like, do you want to do face products? Do you want to do that? No. Can I check in? Something's out of alignment. And I realize it's not in line with my mission. It's not in line with my brand. Right. So that's just another way to think about it. When you're thinking of putting something out there, is it aligned to your brand? And stay open to what that may look like. What offers excite you? Not every offer that comes your way or on your desk or even pops into your own mind is an offer you need to put out. Check in. Does it excite you? Does it light you up? Because when it does excite you, that energy is the fuel in the car. I find that energy is what backs it up and makes it sell even more. And you sell it with conviction. You sell it with ease. You want to look into having a variety of offers at different price points. So it could be something free. It could be something at like small, medium, large pricing levels or high pricing levels. Right? So different price points so people can work with you, but also have a different experience of you. Some people like one of the things that we do at Starseed. So the master class is one. We have a mastermind coming out, and then we have our full coaching program. So there's different levels for people to work with us and come into our community and different price points. We recommend, so you want to have a variety of offers in your business and not just focus on just one thing, because and I'm going to talk about that in a bit, actually. So I'm going to just put a pin on that. But you want to have a different variety for people to work with you, a different support levels and access to you. We recommend starting with one offer and then building and adding on that. You want to master your marketing. You want to master your strategy to sell. And sometimes what we do is even when we have one and we launch it and maybe get 1 or 2 people, we go straight to being like, oh, it doesn't work, or I got to do something else. I have to redo something else. I say, no, work on exactly that and figure out what is it that worked well and what is it that needs tweaking. And from that, you move on to the next one and you keep improving it and making it better. And everyone, quote unquote, everyone you see out there who looks successful, everyone has had their unsuccessful story or their flop launches. But the way that they build their business to where it is now is because they keep mastering and working at what it is that was working and what wasn't working. It's not about reinventing the wheel every time. Right. And maybe it'll end up being a whole new offer, but I really want you to focus and take in the lessons of what you learned from there. There's just so much gold in that sometimes we just leave it like untapped or what do you call it? Like we don't even like look at it and we just leave all of that behind. So start with one and build an ad with that. And also you need an income, you need a cash flow, right? We also recommend that, there's some people who come to us and they leave their jobs completely. They're in our program, they left their job completely, and that's totally fine. And that works for them. And there's other people who do it full time and then start their coaching practice by going through our training. That's fine too. Or have a part-time job and build your practice at the same time. I recommend choosing whatever makes you feel secure. Okay. Do not create a business from a place of lack and desperation, because that is the vibration and that is the fabric that you're weaving into your business and your life. And then that's what's going to be behind your offers. And when you get on a sales call and when you go on, do your promotional videos and you go on Instagram or whatever platform you choose, you're going to have that lack and desperation. And that's what people feel. And yeah, they breed off of that. Okay, so choose something so you have an income to help float your business and support your basic needs. So whatever that looks like to feel secure, to feel supported, have that for yourself. For me, I started my business with the support of my husband. I didn't work, I quit my job, and he was able to support us. Mind you, it was just him and I before we had kids and all of that. So expenses were lower, but that was a big jump for me to allow myself to receive in that way and to be supported in that way. But it gave me a peace of mind. So it's important to create what you need to have peace of mind and to feel secure. In terms of pricing, then you take a look at what feels good and in alignment to you. So alignment just means what feels good, what feels in alignment to you. So if charging, and we're going to, we talk about this in more depth in our coaching program about how to price your services. We don't believe in doing one-offs. Maybe there's in 1 and 2 occasions when we'll talk about that in our program. We go in more depth there, but you really want to choose what feels good to you. And if you're choosing, let's talk about single sessions. If you're choosing just say $100 and you're like, oh, that feels really high, then don't charge $100. If that feels very uncomfortable, don't charge $100. Although I do think that's really low, but you have to choose what feels good for you. If you are like, oh, I got to start charging like $250 because that's what other people are doing, but it doesn't feel good, do not charge that. If you can't back it up, if you can't stand proudly and strongly and say, I charge $250, right? Maybe move it to $150, move it $125. What feels good? What can you get behind? What flows off the tongue? Mind you, the other way around, you can charge too high or charge too low and be out of alignment. Right? So you have to find that space for you and what feels good. Because if you're charging something that feels out of alignment, you're going to get people, and you're always going to get people who say, I can't afford it, I don't want it right now, but also you got to look at the marketing all around that. And we talk about that in more depth. You're always going to get people who can't afford your services, but you need to be behind your pricing. Okay. So choosing something that you're like, I know it's worth this, if not more. And you're not charging on your worth, you're charging on what the transformation is worth. Okay. You can never charge what you're worth because you're priceless. We can never charge that. This is not based on who you are in charging that. By the way, you can charge. I had a beautiful realization this week. There's coaches who are making millions and are not certified. That's one thing you want to keep in mind. You don't need to be certified, or whatever story you're telling yourself you need to be or have in order to receive whatever amount of income or clients that you want. Whatever story you're telling yourself is a lie. Whatever you will receive to the level you allow yourself to receive and to that expectation that you've set for yourself. So you could be certified and receive money, and you don't have to be certified and receive money. So something to keep in mind, that is not a matter of certification that informs your pricing. What informs the pricing is the value and the energy and what feels in alignment to you, what you feel is a fair exchange. Okay. I think I drilled that point. As I mentioned before, when you truly focus on serving your clients, abundance will come. When you keep service on the front, how is this serving my clients? What are they going to get out of this? What transformation are they going to walk away with? Do I believe it? Do I embody it? When you sell it, when you serve on that level, the income will come. My best launches didn't come from me setting a number goal. It came from me setting an energetic goal and me setting the intention. And I was really connected to the purpose and the transformation of what this was going to deliver. Had nothing to, and when I think back, it exceeded what if you were to ask me how much I thought I would have made from it, it way exceeded that. Something to keep in mind. So on the right hand of the screen, you'll see revenue examples for 10K. So here are some ways to play with it, not the only way. Again, choose whatever your goal is, and then you want to have a structure in mind of how could that and kind of how that can possibly flow into your life and how that can play. Okay, so maybe private coaching. You want to this is an idea of how to diversify your income here. Private coaching. Maybe you do $1,000 per month. Again, choose a number that feels in alignment. This is just an example. And you take just 3 clients. That's $3,000 there. Then you have some group coaching, right? Start with one, you build that, and then you do group coaching. Or maybe you start with group coaching because that feels better. And it's $500 per month for, let's say, a 6-month program. You bring 7 people in. Then maybe you offer a mastermind or a workshop of some sort. Maybe it's an intensive, a 1 day, a 1 month, who knows, whatever feels good, whatever serves your clients, whatever they need to achieve whatever transformation that they need in that moment. 583 times 6 people, $10,000 a month. So it's about have different offers, stacking your income, right? And you don't have to focus on building all of this at once. Start with private, for example. Once you have that flowing, then you work on your group coaching. Then you have the overlap of your private clients and then the group clients. And then you keep adding. And so you always have something. You're always offering something. You're always serving something. For me, what's worked well for me now is focusing on what I'm serving per quarter, not per month. That's less pressure for me, gives me more room and space to create and to serve. And I feel more expansive in that space and more comes up versus if I feel like I got to hit this goal or how many clients or get people into this program, in a certain amount of time, that doesn't feel good to me. When I focus on this is a transformation and this what feels good to call people in who are ready for this transformation, it feels more expansive to me. That's just for me. Choose what works for you. Again, choose numbers you can get behind and feel good about. And another question I like to play with is what would feel easy to receive right now? What would feel easy to receive? You can and do your pricing around that and not charge what other coaches are charging or what makes you look successful. Okay. Because all of that is a lie. All of that is disconnected. It's not going to feel true for you. And that's going to read through. Now, I'm not saying don't stretch yourself. If you want to work with 150 an hour, I started at 75. And I said, I really do want to work up to 125. So right now I'm going to do 100 and then I'm going to do that work to allow myself to move up to 125. And every time I expand, I do love the topic of money because I do find it's just an extension, an expression of our energy. And I love energy. I'm all about energy. And so when I use that as a point of expansion, as like a target to expand, there was so much development that went on just for me to allow myself to receive more of that. Hopefully that makes sense. So not to say not to set goals for yourself or to stretch yourself a little bit so you can grow. I just want you to choose something that's in alignment and that you're intentional about. Okay, let's move on. Next, you want to market in an aligned way. Okay, in a feel good way. There's so many ways that you can market: blogs, video, social media, live talks, webinars, podcasts, paying for ads. There's so many ways. And another area that new coaches fall into is feeling like they have to hit everything so that they can get themselves and their message out there. It's exhausting, it's draining, and it's not effective. You may get one or two from over there, and then you're left feeling defeated and deflated. Like, is this not really working? So choose what feels good for you. For me, I only work on 2 platforms, and then I work on mastering those. So I want you to choose what feels in alignment to you. Where do you light up? What's exciting? Where are you going to be like, yeah, I can't wait to get on stories today. I can't wait to record. I can't wait to just sit down and just write it out. Whatever feels good, you're more likely to be consistent with. I mean, you need to create a plan to be consistent, but choose what feels good. Create a plan, allow that to fit into your schedule. Literally write it down. Where does this fit into your days and that number of hours you have chosen to work, right? So that you can be consistent with this, have a plan. And then also you obviously need to be strategic within that plan. Intentional, powerful content. So what is the platforms that feel the easiest, fun, and effortless for you? Where do you feel like you shine and light up the most? For me, it's podcasting and doing video on Instagram. And I've filled up programs from those 2 platforms. If I chose platforms that didn't feel good, you would feel it. You would read it in my content. You would sense it. So market in a way that feels good for you. If something is speaking to you, do research on that. If you need to hire someone to support you in that, do that. But don't feel like you have to be perfect and master everything out there. It's just not possible, and it's not effective, nor do I believe there's someone who does all of that, or at the beginning at least. Okay, so make it easy for yourself and make it fun, where you can feel good and aligned. Next, to create a steady and sustainable business, you have to work on the energetics. You have to work on your mindset. You just have to. There's just no way around it. I find businesses is a portal to expansion, to personal development. So you want to take a look at, well, to create that stable and sustainable business, I do believe you need to have that mindset and energy that matches a stable and consistent and sustainable business. You need to embody that, embody the work. You need to be a vibrational match for the life and business you seek. Now, there's no end goal here. There's no perfection to reach. Once you made a decision to start a business, once you made a decision to answer your mission, your call, the purpose while you are here on earth, that's going to be a lifelong mission. And it just keeps pulling back. The onion layers just keep pulling back more and more. So if you're ever thinking, oh, I thought I figured this out, or, oh my gosh, I'm still working through this. Yes. And you probably will for the rest of your life. This is part of your mission. It doesn't mean you're off track. This actually means you're on track, because this is the work that you have answered to do, and it's going to serve. So keep that in mind. And I say this all intentionally because this here, building a stable and successful business, a sustainable one, is a long game. It's not a short game, and not a short game or gain, right? If you're in it for the short gain, sure, you'll get some clients here and there and get some money. And maybe if that's what you're in for, let's see how this goes. Or, I just want a little part-time business on the side. Sure. If that's your intention, then that's great. But if you're here to do this full time and do this for as long as possible, possibly the rest of your life, and allow it to evolve to the next level, you need to accept that this is a long-term commitment. And not just be in it for the short wins, such as money and clients and number of followers and all of that. Be in it for the mission, for this full service that you're here to offer. And know you'll always be expanding and evolving to the next level. So here are some questions for you. Don't have to think about it now. If one stands out to you, go ahead and write it. But you want to have some set belief systems and frequencies built into your business now. And some ways to access that, or here's some questions. How will you feel when you achieve your vision? And let this be the vantage point, as I mentioned before, in everything you do. What is your point of view about yourself? What is your point of view about yourself as you start or grow your business? This is important. How do you feel about yourself as you are starting a business? Do you feel like a fraud? Do you feel not good enough? Do you feel like I have to get a certification, or I have to get so many clients so that I can feel stable and secure? All of that is heavy and constricting and repulsive. It's going to push people away and opportunities and money away. What is your point of view on money? You want to really look at that. That comes up a lot. And we go in depth in that in our certification program. What is your point of view on success? Be clear on all of that. Maybe use this as a journaling excerpt tonight or tomorrow. Journaling is great for clearing the mind and coming into alignment. Meditation is important for that as well, another tool. But go through these questions, and anything that feels heavy, know it's a lie. It's not true for you. There's a lie in there. You just believed it. Anything that feels light is right. There's truth in that for you. Okay. So maybe a point of view that came up as you journal, what's my point of view of myself as I grow my business? Maybe a point of view that you currently have is that I can't believe I'm still here and I'm still struggling and I don't have consistent clients. That feels heavy. That's not serving you. So ask yourself, what is another truth? What could possibly be true? Maybe that means you are growing, you're mastering, you are aligned. There's gold in this. There's a blessing in this. You are actually on the right track. You are evolving. You are serving. This is part of the work. So finding affirmations, finding new truths, your truths that feel good for you, and affirm that and keep doing the work on that. This is not a one-time thing. You journal once and you get it. This is continuous work. So you always want to check in, is your mindset and your energy aligned to running a stable and sustainable business? And finally, make sure you have the right support. When I look back at every time my business leveled up, I had support around me. I really did it by myself. When I started, most of the times when I struggled is because I was doing it by myself. I figured it out. I made some results, no doubt. I still believe I did the work myself. I was only me who could implement and do the work, but I had support around me. I had the energy of people who are doing it ahead of me and learning from them and tweaking what they did and what works for me. And it inspired me to figure out what's working for me and what works better for me. Right? So have support for yourself, because running a business is mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically demanding. It calls on you. It calls forth in you to be the best person possible. And that's what's so beautiful about it. Be dedicated to that, not try to be perfect with that. No, you need to be an example of that. I always say that you want people to hire you as a coach. Are you working with a coach? I do believe that. Because if you say, no, I haven't worked with a coach, I would never do that, I don't need one, then why does someone need to hire you as a coach? Not that you have to have one all the time. You need to figure out what works good for you, right? But you need to believe in the system. You need to experience it yourself. And I think most people here who become a coach, some stories that were shared with me is that they were being coached and they got inspired and realized that's what they want to do. So a lot of my clients end up turning spiritual coaches after our work together. So have a support team for yourself to support you on a professional and personal level. And maybe that may be people in your family, a best friend, a partner, and that's great, but they also don't get it. Like, unless you're in it, they don't get all the requirements of running a business. And so one of my first investments was a mastermind, and I paid $116 per month. And that was huge for me at the time. I was so scared, like shaking with my credit card, and like now I pay a few more thousands of dollars on that. That took a while to get there. That's not to brag. That's to let you know, like, I had to step it up every time. I had to stretch and go outside my comfort zone, but I was mindful of the support and intentional of what worked for me. Mind you, I had support. I had my husband, I have friends, I have family. but it's a different type of support. So I do believe in hiring aligned support for yourself. And also keep in mind, you don't need to have an assistant right away. That works for some people who start their business. That's great. But choose it at a time that feels good for you, not choosing it where you think you should be or what other people are doing. Find the support that works for you. And sometimes the support that you need right now is just to be in your own energy and implement what you learn or to figure it out on your own, right? Just make sure you're giving yourself what it is that you need and not making a decision from fear as well. When you grow, your business will grow, no doubt. I know that to be true. When you make investments, as I mentioned before, make investments in yourself from an empowered place, not from a place of fear. And also make an investment knowing that only you are the one who's going to create the results. It's not the coach, it's not the mentor, it's not a program, it's not a system. You may learn from it, you will gain from it, but really what's really going to change it is you. So have the belief in yourself, have the trust in yourself. Make that decision from an empowered place, not from a disempowered place of that you're lacking something. Okay. So those are my 5 pillars on creating a stable and sustainable business. I know there was a lot there. I want you to take a moment right now to just reflect. What are the top 3 insights from today's class? And then what actions are you inspired to take from today? At least one action. And what support do you need to be held and to anchor your vision? For those of you who are thinking of starting a business, a coaching business, or perhaps you're a Reiki practitioner or you're in some sort of healing holistic modality, or perhaps you're even in the corporate world and you're wanting to leave that or transition out of it into something more soul satisfying, that's what Starseed Academy is here to support you with. So whether you are starting, growing, or scaling your business, we offer a full service program to help you build a sustainable and successful, profitable business. Our high-level spiritual coach training program, a certification program, is accredited through the International Coaching Federation. It's a full service program where we not only help you with building high-level coaching skills, but also you get that personal development support to work through your blocks, as well as conscious marketing strategies that we work on with you to create an aligned strategy for you to attract clients and not chase them, and build and create a real sustainable income. We also now offer 1-year business support, because that's one thing I realized was missing in a lot of programs. And once you do a certification, you're done and you're like, now what? What do I do? So sometimes you need the personal support, the professional support, as well as what do I do in this client situation or this situation in a session? Or let me just say, I need some help with the marketing and my strategy. So we take a look at all of that. We support you with that in our certification program. Right now, we're enrolling for our next program. Our next date is for May 11th. So if you're interested and if you're serious, apply today, because we have limited spots left. We only run this program, as I mentioned, once or twice a year. And we only have a total of 8 spots, and there's already people in our next cohort. So apply today by going to starseedacademycoachtraining.com. Next, you are one of the first to know, we are releasing a Starseed Business Mastermind. This is for those who are ready to grow and stabilize their business. So whether you've been through our coaching program before, or you have a spiritual or healing business and you want that support, you want to be around like-minded people, but you want to elevate your business and you also want to stabilize the success you have, that's what this mastermind is about. It's a monthly mastermind and we start in June. And for being on this masterclass, we are offering you a pre-sale price, which is 50% off from the final price. So if you're interested and you want to register, email us at info@starseedacademy.ca to snag your spot. We also have our human design consultant training. And what this is we go deeper. It's more marketing focused, but going deeper into your human design. Julian Croston Hill is who teaches this for us. He's a human design specialist, and it's amazing on how to create more income in your business, how to align clients without the burnout, and be more clear on your strategy based on who you are energetically. That's the way I translate it. And when I've applied human design into my business, it really made things feel so much more effortless. And still to this day, I always come back to what's my design? What's my strategy? When's the best time to make decisions here? And it works for me every time. It really just simplifies it. So go to our site to join our waitlist for the next cohort. And those who have already been through a certification program, whether it's through Starseed or through another establishment, if you are interested in gaining another designation through the International Coaching Federation, your ACC or PCC, Starseed Academy, we support you with that. We have private and group mentorship programs. So if you're interested in that, just go to our site or email our office at info@starseedacademy.ca. So next steps, apply for our next certification program that's happening May 11th, or email our office at info@starseedacademy.ca. One thing I do want to say, those who do enroll in the coach certification program gets 4 months of membership to our Starseed Business Mastermind. So that's what we're doing right now. And we have special guests who will be in our mastermind, where you're going to be learning from experts for social media, for marketing, on human design. So that's what you're going to get access to. I really hope this served you all today. Thank you so much for being here.